Alright. So dito tayo ngayon sa discussion natin for BAPE 1, diba? Sa lesson 2 na tayo as promised na napag-usapan natin sa class, yung mga na-discuss natin sa face-to-face classes natin. Sige, uulitin natin dito for lesson 2 and lesson 3 since for that, nag-hybrid tayo, nag-face-to-face classes tayo. So with that, let's proceed ulit sa discussion natin for lesson 2. So, ang pinag-usapan natin sa lesson 2 is yung professional standards. Siyempre, mga CPA, mga professionals yan, mga auditors, di ba? So, dito tayo sa the professional standards. So, start tayo sa PSA, Philippine Standards on Auditing. So, di ba? Sa accounting, may tinatawag tayong Generally Accepted Accounting Principles. Pagdating sa auditing, meron tayong GAAS, di ba? Parang counterpart siya ni GAAP. Kung saan, si Generally Accepted Auditing Standards sa yung counterpart ni GAAP when it comes to auditing. Or natin si counterpart, but kapareho, di ba? These represent measures of the quality of the auditor's performance. These standards should be looked at as a minimum standard of performance that auditor should follow, di ba? Parehong-pareho sa punto ni GAAP. So, kung makikita nyo, itong mga standards na to, di ba? That is the bare minimum that you should achieve when you're performing the particular activity. Like for example, dito sa auditing, you can exceed that, but you can never go below that. Kasi nga, yan yung standard. Diyan mo i-compare, di ba? Yung magiging trabaho mo. Diyan mo malalaman kung nagawa mo ng maayos yung trabaho mo. Diba? May comparison, may i-compare ka. And with that, these 10 GAAs are grouped into general, fieldwork, and reporting standards. So, 10 yan sila. So, bilangin nyo pa. So, meron tayong tatlo, di ba? General standards, standards of fieldwork, and standards of reporting. So, yung 10, dinistribute yan sa kanila. So, dito tayo sa general standards. Sa general standards, may tatlo tayo. So, the examination is to be performed by a person or persons having adequate technical training and proficiency as an auditor. Di ba common sense naman mga kapatid? Di ba common sense? Ang ilalagay mo sa trabaho ngayon, sa auditing engagement na yan, is yung tao, is yung auditor na alam niya yung ginagawa niya. Di ba? May proficiency siya when it comes to the accounting standards para yun yung i-compare niya. Di ba? I-compare niya doon yung evidential niya, yung FS ng company, if it is properly following the standards. Diba ganun? Dapat may adequate technical training and proficiency. Dapat alam niya kung ano yung ginagawa niya. Kasi pag hindi niya alam kung ano ginagawa niya, edi problema yan. Diba? Magiging problema yan sa audit engagement nyo. May posible, magiging matagal yung mas matatagalan kayo sa trabaho nyo. Mas maraming revisions. So with that, make sure that the members of the engagement team, diba, yung mag-engage sa audit na yan, alam nila yung ginagawa nila, may proper training sila. Next is that in all matters relating to an engagement, an independence in mental attitude is to be maintained by the auditor. Obviously. Bakit? Para pag magbibigay ka ng audit opinion mo, diba, walang halong bias. Kung ano yung nandyan, yun talaga ang sasabihin mo. Walang halong bias. Be objective, kumbaga. So yan. And lastly, due professional care is to be exercised in the performance of the audit and the preparation of the report. Ano mean ng due professional care? Diba? Yan yung pagiging due professional care is basically you're observing the standard of the fieldwork and reporting. Meaning, kung ganyan dapat ang ginagawa mo, kung ganyan dapat yung ginagawa in that particular engagement, edi ganyan dapat yung gagawin mo. You're properly observing it. Diba po makita nyo, alam mo kung ditong sa tatlong to, alam mo kung anong ginagawa mo, you're doing it independently without bias, and due professional care, you're doing it properly. Diba? Alam mo kung anong gagawin mo, magiging independent ka, magiging objective ka habang ginagawa mo, eto naman, maayos mong ginagawa. Maayos mong ginagawa or maayos mong gagawin. So dito parang planning to. Pagdating dito sa fieldwork, dito na yung actual, 'di ba? Parang dito na mismo yung nagkakaroon na talaga ng engagement. 'Di ba? The first one, the work is to adequately planned, and assistance, if any, are to be appropriately supervised. Diba? Dapat may plano ka para hindi ka papucho-pucho pagdating sa audit engagement. Alam mo kanong gagawin mo. Diba? Okay, ganito ang gagawin natin for this particular account. Ito yung mga audit procedures na kailangan natin gawin. Diba? Para smooth na lang. Diba? Para efficient yung trabaho nyo. Next is that there is to be a proper study and evaluation of existing internal control as a basis of reliance extent of the test to which auditing procedures are to be restricted. Bakit? Anong sinasabi nito? Di ba alam natin kung anong internal control? Di ba? May idea natin kung anong internal control. And alam natin, pag pangit yung internal control ng company, mas mataas yung chances or mas mataas yung risk na may problema dyan. Di ba? Mas mataas yung chances or risk na may problema sa kanilang FS for an audit. Di ba? So, since mas mataas yung risk na may problema dyan sa kanilang FS because of pangit yung internal control nila, ang trabaho ni auditor, ang magiging trabaho ni auditor is dagdagan yung kanyang audit procedures. Bakit, sir? Kasi kailangan niyang dagdagan yung kanyang audit procedures in order to make sure na yung audit risk o yung risk na mali yung masasabi niyang opinion, mapababa. Oo, ganun yun. So, pag pangit ang internal control, ulis itong isipin, pag pangit ang internal control ng company, ni client, more audit procedures. Why? To lessen audit risk, to decrease the audit risk. And what is audit risk? Yung risk na mali, yung opinion na masabi ni auditor sa kanyang auditor, sa kanyang report. So, pag maganda naman yung internal control, you can lessen naman. Di ba? Kasi, mas mababa yung magiging risk na may mali dyan. Di ba? Next is that sufficient competent evidential matter is to obtain through inspection, observation, inquiries, and confirmations. Ito, mga audit procedures to sila. What? To afford a reasonable basis for an opinion regarding the financial statement under examination. So ito, di ba? Magbibigay ka ng opinion. Magbibigay ka ng opinion. Eh siyempre, pag magbibigay ka ng opinion mo sa FS ng company, dapat may basis ka. Di ba? Dapat may basis ka. Ano yung basis mo? Yung evidence na magagather mo during the audit. Di ba? Yung audit evidence mo. Siyempre, huwag kang di ba, huwag kang magbibigay ng opinion na wala kang basis kasi babalik yan sa'yo. Babalik yan sa'yo. Magiging liable ka dyan. At least, pag na-question yung opinion mo, mayroon kang may papakitang ebidensya. Di ba? Na ito, audit evidence ko. Yan yung naging basis ko sa audit opinion ko. Di ba? So, that is the standards of fieldwork. Now, going to standards of reporting, ito, di ba, mag-report, di ba, para itong parang pre-engagement activities, making sure everything is proper. Ito, nandito na yung actual engagement, di ba, actual procedures. Dito naman tayo sa sa reporting na. So, dito sa standards of reporting, ay, nakarang mukha ko. Wait lang, nakarang siya. Yun. So, dito naman sa standards of reporting, di ba, alam niyo dito yung nangyari dito. Nag-issue ng report si auditor. So, paano nangyari dito? So, the report shall state whether the FS are presented in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles. Kasi nga, kaya ka naman nag-audit eh. Bakit? Yung FS ng company, chine-check mo kung it followed, di ba? It followed what was stated in the standard. Di ba yung subject matter, chine-check mo if it is in accordance with the established criteria. Titingnan mo yung degree of what? Correspondence nila. So with that, sa report mo, sasabihin mo, okay, this FS of the company is in accordance, di ba? With the generally accepted accounting principles. So the report shall identify those circumstances in which principles have not been consistently observed in the current period in relation to the preceding. So pag may nakita kang inconsistency, di ba? Ito yung nasa FS. Pero yung nakalagay sa standard, ganito ang dapat gawin. O in that case, you need to report on that. Lalo na kapag significant yan. Lalo na kapag material yan. Then, informative disclosures are to be regarded as reasonable, adequate, unless otherwise stated in the report. Alam naman natin, di ba, yung sa notes ng FS, nandun yung mga disclosures natin. And lastly, the report shall either contain an expression of opinion regarding the FS taken as a whole or an assertion to the effect that an opinion cannot be expressed. Yung, if I remember correctly, di ba, kung follow kayo ng news, 'Di ba? Kita niyo yung sa report ng COA, 'di ba? Meron tayong unqualified, qualified, disclaimer, and adverse. Yun yung mga klase ng audit opinions na binibigay ng isang auditor. And contrary to what is stated by the trolls, yung unqualified daw, ang isip nila, hindi daw qualified, kaya pangit daw. Hindi. Unqualified is actually the highest form of audit opinion that can be given by an auditor. Ibig sabihin, maayos yung FS ng company. Or in that case, di ba, maayos yung FS that there's a reasonable assurance that the financial statements of the company, di ba, are free from material misstatements or free from material misstatements, whether due to whether due to fraud or error. Ibig sabihin, maganda yung FS ng company. So, yung sa qualified naman, yun yung second. Basically, ang sinasabi sa qualified, maganda na sana, kaso may problema lang in this particular account, whether an individual account or an aggregate. Oo, maganda na sana. Di ba parang sa tao yan? Ala, maganda na sana, mabait na sana siya. Di ba? Perfect na sana. Kaso ganito, may problema siya. Di ba? Parang ganun yung qualified opinion. When it comes to disclaimer, ito yung sa adverse muna tayo. When it comes to the adverse, yan yung you were able to audit the company. Di ba? Parang ganun. Pero nakita mo, pangit. Di ba? Hindi maganda. Hindi proper yung kanyang FS. On the other hand, pagdating sa disclaimer, usually, ito yung mapapano comment ka na lang. Yan yung meaning ng disclaimer. Kaya nga, disclaimer, no comment. So, di ba, 4 yan. Unqualified, napakaganda. Qualified, maganda na sana. Kaso, adverse, pangit Disclaimer, no comment. Diyan basically in short discussion, ganyan yung meaning ng audit opinions natin. So, pero madidiscuss natin yan pagdating sa audit reporting kasi we're following the audit procedure, audit process. The first one would be the pre-engagement activities, then audit planning, yan yung para sa midterm quarter natin, then yung more audit procedures and audit report, nasa second quarter natin yan. So, dito pa tayo sa pre-engagement activities So, yun. When an overall audit opinion cannot be expressed, the reasons therefore should be stated. In all cases, when an auditor's name is associated with the FS, the report should contain a clear-cut indication of the character of the auditor's examination, if any, and the degree of responsibility he's taking. So, yan yung gaas natin. Yeah? Yan yung gaas natin. So, So, the Auditing and Assurance Standards Council has been given the task to promulgate auditing standards, practices, and procedures which shall be generally accepted by the accounting profession in the Philippines. So, ano yan? Kung sa PFRS tayo, sa accounting standards, di ba, may council din tayo doon. Sa pagdating sa auditing, ito naman, sila yung namamahala. Dati, to siya, ASPC to siya. If I remember correctly, ASPC, Auditing Standards and Practice Council. Pero napalitan na siya ng Auditing and Assurance Standards Council. Ngayon, based doon sa isang website na kita ko, may 18 members siya. Pero nung pinuntahan ko yung actual website ng AASC, may 19 members siya. Di ba? Makahilo. 18 yung sa isang website, na nilista sino-sino. Pagdating doon sa website ng AASC mismo, 19 sila nandoon. May pictures pa nga, sino-sino sila So, AASC has been given a task to promulgate auditing standards, practices, and procedures which shall be generally accepted by the accounting profession dito sa bansa natin. So, ano yung mga standards na yun? Diba? The pronouncement of the AASC shall be in the form of Philippine Standards on Quality Control, PSQC, Philippine Standards on Auditing, PSA, Philippine Standards on Review Engagement, PSREs, Philippine Standards on Assurance Engagement, PSAES, Philippine Standards on Related Services, Philippine Auditing Practice Standards, PAPS, Philippine Review Engagement Practice Standards, PREPS, Philippine Assurance Engagement Practice Standards, PAEPS, and Philippine Related Services Practice Statements. Di ba? Yan yung mga pronouncement ni AASC. So, itong mga pronouncement na to, on the general accepted auditing standards, interpretations, opinions issued by the AASC, apply Kailan to sila na-apply? Take note. Whenever an independent examination of the financial statements of any entity, whether profit-oriented man o hindi, and irrespective of their size or legal form, when such examination is what? Conducted for the purpose of expressing an opinion thereof. They may also have an application as appropriate to other related auditors. So, yung yung pronouncement ni ASC sa Generally Accepted Auditing Standards, Interpretation Opinions, nagagamit siya kapag, take note lang, ulitin natin, di ba? May independent examination sa FS kung saan ang purpose is you will express an opinion over that. Di ba? Hindi wala tayong pake kung profit-oriented o hindi, kung multi-billion dollar conglomerate yan, or multi-billion peso conglomerate yan, or simpleng family business lang, kung ano man yan, partnership or corporation na, basta, ang purpose mo is expressing an opinion of it. So ito, standards natin, Philippine Standards on Auditing, ano yung application niya? Audit of historical financial statements. Sa review engagement naman, review of historical financial information. And PISAES natin, yung other assurance engagement, di ba? Assurance engagement dealing with subject matters other than the historical FS. And Philippine Standards Related Services, di ba? Ito yung mga compilation, agreed upon procedures, and other related service engagement as specified by the ASC. So, yan yung application nila. So, ngayon, ito na may mention to sa board exam. If I remember correct yung time namin, yung PSAs, PSREs, PISAES, and PSRs are collectively referred to as the ASPC's engagement standards. Ngayon, yung Philippine Standards and Quality Control natin, di ba? Nandito yan siya, oh. So, number 1 talaga, are to be applied for all services falling under the AASC's engagement standards. So, meaning, ito, malaking sakop niya. Sakop niya, itong 4 na to. Yung engagement standards ni AASC to, na ano natin. AASC, yun. So, Philippine standards are to be applied as written to engagements in public sector unless so stated that they do not apply in a public sector environment or they are not appropriate to such environment. So, ngayon, let's go to the lesson 2 ng part 2 ng discussion natin for lesson 2. Yung system of quality control, 'di ba? May idea na kayo kung ano yung quality control. 'Di ba? That is implemented in 'di ba? Simple idea natin ng quality control. It is implemented for the purpose of what? Being able is that properly nyo ma-follow kung ano man yung procedure, kung ano man yung processes na magiging maayos yung gagawin nyo. Kaya quality control, 'di ba? Yun yung basic idea natin kung ano yung quality control. So under this topic, ano nga ba to? So quality controls are policies and procedures adopted by CPAs for what? To provide reasonable assurance of conforming with professional standards in performing audit and related services. Meaning, nandyan si quality control para si CPA in performing his audit, magiging maayos yung kanyang standards in conformity with the professional standards. Magiging maayos yung kanyang trabaho in conformity with what the professional standards have provided us. Diba? Magiging maayos yung trabaho niya basically. And in order to make sure of that, may quality control tayo. Diba? Ganyan yung basic idea. Nandiyan si quality control to make sure na itong si CPA, while performing an audit engagement, magiging maayos yung trabaho niya in conformity with what the professional standards have provided. Ganyan, kasimple. So, under the PSQC, a firm has an obligation to establish a system of quality control designed to provide it with reasonable assurance that the firm and its personnel comply with professional standards and regulatory and legal requirements, and the report issued by the firm are appropriate in the circumstances. So, basic lang yung idea dito. Sino yung may responsibility sa pag-implement ng quality control? Si firm. Siya yung may responsibility in implementing the quality control. Diba? Ganyan kasimple. Ngayon, dito tayo sa elements of a system of quality control. Ngayon, itong CPS, Philippine Standards on Auditing 220, di ba? Quality control for an audit of financial statements. Di ba? Of course, we're following the standards, di ba? It states that audit firms should implement policies and procedures designed to ensure that all audits are conducted in accordance with the Philippine Standards on Auditing, di ba? In order to make sure, ulitin natin, anong purpose ng quality control? In order to make sure na kung ano yung sinasabi ng standards, diba? Magiging maayos yung trabaho ng isang CPA when performing an audit engagement in conformity with what the professional standards have provided. Diba? Ulit-ulit para ma-retain nyo. So, the quality control policies and procedures adopted by audit firms vary. Diba? Kasi hindi naman sila pare-pareho. Vary depending the firm size and nature of its practice, cost-benefit, considerations, and other factors. Now, PSA 220 has identified the following control policies, di ba? The following control policies that may serve as a guide to audit firms in establishing their own system of what? Quality control. So may mga control policies na pwedeng magamit. Ano? The first one is the leadership responsibilities for quality on audits. So, the engagement partner should take responsibility. Yun na, klaro na. Si engagement partner, di ba? Siya na namamahala ng engagement team na nasa audit engagement. So, with that, since siya yung namamahala, di ba? Siya yung head, the engagement partner should take responsibility for the overall quality on each audit engagement to which the partner is assigned. The partners are assigned. Partners is assigned. Wow. Chicken man tong grammar. The engagement partner should set example regarding the quality of audit by emphasizing through actions and messages the importance of performing work that complies with professional standards, complying with the firm's quality control, policies and procedures, and issuing appropriate audit reports. Diba? Basically, si partner magiging leader dito. Diba? Lead by example. Huwag ka maging boss. Be a leader. Ganyan kasimple. It is the responsibility of the engagement partner to make sure na yung audit engagement ng mga subordinates siya, magiging maayos. Di ba? Then, the next one is that the ethical requirements. The engagement partner should consider whether members of the engagement team have complied with these ethical principles. So, make sure niya, member ng engagement team, di ba? From the associate, to the senior, to the manager, to the director, dapat they have this ethical principle. Integrity, may integridad ka. Diba? Matibay yung moral standing mo. Matibay yung moral principles mo. Hindi ka matitibag. Objectivity. Alam naman natin yan. Being objective. Being independent. Hindi ka subjective. Hindi ka bias. Professional competence and due care. You are competent in doing your job and you are doing it properly. Confidentiality. Hindi ka marites. Diba? Hindi ka marites, huwag mong ikalat sa ibang tao. Anong nangyayari dyan? Diba? Kasi you're being given confidential information ng company. Diba? Huwag mo sabihin, ganito pa nangyari dito. Hindi. Confidentiality. And lastly, professional behaviors because CPAs are professional. And with that, may standards tayo, may etiquette tayo. Any issues involving engagement team members non-compliance with ethical requirements must be properly resolved and documented. Dito tayo sa independence. The engagement partner should form a conclusion on compliance with independence requirements that apply to the audit engagement. So, first, obtain relevant information to identify circumstances and relationships that creates threats to independence. Like what? Diba? Yung isa sa engagement team members mo, manager, diba? Asawa niya. Yung VP, yung isa sa mga vice presidents ng client nyo. Diba? Yung manager mo sa engagement team, asawa niya pala. Yung isa sa mga vice presidents ng client nyo. So in that case, diba, magkakaroon ng conflict of interest, diba? Relationships that creates threats to independence. So you need to identify that. Mga ganong klase, diba? Or, some of your engagement team members, may stocks, may shares sa client. Nangyayari yan. Diba? So with that, you need dapat malaman mo, there must be disclosure. You need to obtain relevant information about that. Next, that evaluate information on identify breaches of the firm's independent policies and procedures to determine whether they create threat to independence. Diba? You need to evaluate it. Then take appropriate safeguards to eliminate such threats or reduce them to an acceptable level. If I remember correctly, may threshold yan. So, take note. And document conclusions on independence and the basis for such conclusion. Diba? Gaya na sabi natin, pagdating sa accounting, it is substance over form. Pero pagdating sa auditing, it is form over substance. You need to document everything. Dapat maganda ang working paper mo. Yan yung priority in practical considerations. Next is that acceptance and continuance of client relationship. So, yan, di ba? The firm must only undertake or continue relationships and engagements where it has considered the integrity of the client. Di ba? Enron pala yung client nyo. Si Lehman Brothers pala yan. O, di ba? Pangit yung integrity nila. Di ba? You need to consider that, mga ganong klase. Is competent to perform the engagement and has the capabilities, time and resources to do so. Di ba? Dapat kaya nyo. Di ba? Do not overpromise na gagawin, di ba? Yun pala, mag-under-deliver mangyari, di ba? You need to make sure, you need to evaluate na kakayanin nyo gawin yung engagement and can comply with ethical requirements. So, the engagement partner should be satisfied that appropriate procedures regarding acceptance and continuance of client relationships and specific audit engagement have been followed, and that conclusions reached in this regard are appropriate and have been documented. So, yan, di ba? And then, dito sa human resource and assignment, the firm should establish policies and procedures designed to provide it with reasonable assurance that it has sufficient personnel with the capabilities, competence, and commitment to ethical principles necessary to perform the engagement. Siyempre, trabaho yan ng firm na yung mga members ng engagement team, di ba? Alam nilang ginagawa nila, they have the capability. Maganda yung pagkakagawa nila and gagawin talaga nila to commitment to ethical principles. Di ba? You need to make sure. Wag mong isasama dyan sa engagement team mo, yung paputyo-putyo, yung pangit yung trabaho. Bakit? Kasi babalikan sa inyo Babalikan sa inyo. Matatagalan kayo, mag-waste kayo ng resources, maraming revisions na gagawin. Kasi nga, nung planning pa lang, pinasok nyo sa engagement team nyo yung mga members na hindi naman kaya yung trabaho. Diba? So, with that said, sa start pa lang, dapat i-make sure nyo na okay, itong mga members ng engagement team, kaya nila yung trabaho nila, competent sila, alam nila kung anong gagawin nila, and they're able to follow the ethical principles na kailangan. Bakit? Para from the start pa lang, di ba, wala na kayong masyadong problema. Di ba, may saying pa nga nun, measure twice, cut once. Para hindi na kayo mamblema when you're doing the actual audit engagement. Such policies and procedures should address issues concerning personnel, di ba? Like recruitment, performance evaluation, compensation, promotion, capabilities and competence, career development, and assignment of engagement. So, engagement performance. The engagement partner should take responsibility for the direction, supervision, review, and overall performance of the audit engagement. Gaya na sabi natin, engagement partner nag-lead dyan So, the firm should ensure that, first, that engagement are performed in accordance with the professional standards and other regulatory and legal requirements. And second, the audit report issued is appropriate in their circumstances. And lastly, dito sa monitoring. The continued adequacy and operational effectiveness of quality control policies and procedures is to be monitored. Siyempre, continuing continuing requirement to Diba? Continuing requirement to. And paano malaman na you are able to follow it? Diba? You are able to comply with it? You need to monitor. Diba? You need to monitor, okay, are the engagement team members properly following what we need to do? Are they competent throughout the engagement until the end? Diba? Are they still following? Committed to the ethical principles. Diba? Kasi baka in the middle of the engagement, biglang babaluktot yung ethical principles sila, diba? So in order to make sure that everything is followed properly throughout the engagement until the end, you need to monitor it. Yeah? Policies and procedures must be adapted to provide reasonable assurance that systems of quality control are relevant, adequate, and operating effectively. So ito, take note. So ito nga sa quality control review. So dito sa quality control review, basahin na lang natin ito. Simple na lang ito eh. The government has taken steps to ensure that CPAs work to the highest standards which can reasonably be expected from them because we're professionals eh. Diba? That's the gist of it. So through the Professional Regulatory Board of Accountancy, si BOA, kilala natin sila, has required all CPA firms and individual CPAs in public practice, kasi di ba alam natin sa industries na pinupunta ng mga CPA, di ba? Meron tayong public sector, government 'yon. Meron tayong industry, meron tayong academe, meron tayong public practice. So ito yung mga sa firms natin. So to obtain a certificate of accreditation to practice public accountancy. So hindi ka lang basa-basa makakapag-practice ng makakagawa ng public practice. You need a certificate for that. So, such certificate is valid for 3 years and can be renewed after complying with the requirements of the BOA. An example of that requirement is yung CPD units, di ba? So, as a condition to the renewal of the certificate of accreditation to practice public accountancy, the board requires individual CPAs and CPA firms to under a quality control review para to ensure that these CPAs comply with the accounting and auditing standards and practices, simply to make sure that they are properly complying. So the PRC has created a quality review committee which shall conduct a quality review on the applicants for registration to practice public accountancy and shall recommend the revocation of the certificate of registrations of CPAs who have not observed the quality control measures or those who have not complied with the standards of quality prescribed for the practice of public accountancy. Ito basically it is just regulatory requirement to regulatory and legal requirement in order to make sure that CPAs are actually properly following the standards provided. Because what? CPAs are professionals and professionals have standards. Diba? Ganun yung kasimple. So with that, that's the end of our discussion for lesson 2. Diba? Yung next na ipopost nating discussion is lesson 3 kasi yun, face-to-face yung nangyari doon. So next time, post natin mga bukas siguro or Thursday, post natin yung sa lesson 3. Para yung mga discuss natin sa face-to-face, ma-upload natin online para, di ba, gaya na sabi nyo, para maulit-ulit nyo. So, that ends our discussion for lesson 2. Tingnan natin lesson 3. Bye-bye. With that said, bye-bye. Love you.